So the new Warriors, huh? God, Marvel, what are you doing? What? When did it become a point in movies and film that they are deliberately trying to just alienate and annoy their entire core audience? I don't understand it. I mean, for fuck's sake. I mean, does the fat one just sit on the sideline and pull stuff out of her backpack? Her magical backpack, and to throw at the villains? Is this what she's doing? Because she sure as hell ain't, going in there charging. Trailblazer, get the hell out of here. Being a hero is obviously a very physically taxing job. And if she's the one charging in there, she wouldn't be fat. Okay? She's fat for the sake of being fat. For that oh so important representation. Alright? That's ruining, like I said, ruining comics and movies. And the same with Snowflake. Oh my lord. Non-binary, they, them. Jesus. I mean, the origin of their names is on... It's just a whole other level of cringe. And internet gas? Internet gas? What the fuck? That's got some of the weakest, lamest writing and idea. What? Huh? There's so many stories from old school characters. They get their powers from gas or experiments gone wrong. So yeah, internet gas, that works. Even though it doesn't make any goddamn sense. His power is lame too. I mean, if you think about it, those shit, he's basically just an iPhone. I mean, I got one of them. That's what I'm filming with. Internet, palm of my hand, all the time. Like everybody else. Well, how's that a superpower? Only this comic would make the thought of being a vampire lame, too. I mean, of all the character designs are horrid, don't get me wrong. Ironically, the internet kid, he kind of looks okay. I mean, I got a thing for visors. And the green works. It's about the only normal color. I mean, I guess Trailblazer, her color scheme works, even though the character as a whole is... Jesus. But this kid, holy shit. I mean, he looks like he just stepped off an 80s music video set where the band can't decide whether or not they want to be punk or glam. What are they doing? What is this crap? Nobody wants this. Why in the world would Marvel think this is a great idea? Talking about, they're using these names that are usually derogatory and meant to show weakness, and they're going to show strength. No, they're not. They're just going to look stupid. The whole character, and plus, I mean, their powers are lame as hell as a whole. Anyway, except for the vampire kid, because he's like Mobius, basically. He's supposed to got a supposedly mysterious blood transfusion as a baby. What kind of fucked up situation was this poor kid in that he needed a blood transfusion as a baby, and the only person that was around and available was Michael Morbius, who, last I checked, is still a pretty messed up looking dude. I mean, he's not the typical Twilight looking vampire where he's all pretty and handsome and the chicks just fall over him. He's fucked up looking. Okay, he looks like the monster. So what kind of situation was this kid in that this was the only help he could get? And the parents are just like, okay, we'll do it. I mean, I don't know, man. What are they doing? But, well, like I said, the powers are horrible. Except for him. Because you got the fat chick, Trailblazer, sorry. Obviously, I'm going to call her fat. Because I'm fat. So, whatever. But yeah, she's got a magic backpack of divine origin, mind you. And it's basically a bag of many things. You might play Dungeons and Dragons and what have you. She can pull stuff out of it. I don't know if it's like anything she can imagine, or it just reaches into some alternate dimension, or what have you. But still, I mean, it'd be cool as a support character, but she sure as hell ain't gonna be the first one charging in. Because what's she gonna do other than run out of breath? Oh my god. And you got safe space. Which I love the description in the video. The typical burly jock. What? You know, I mean, I don't recall very many burly jocks who are decked out in pink with pink hair and pink eyes. What school did he go to? But yeah, his power is he can make force fields, which, you know, in a normal situation, hey, that sounds pretty cool. Force fields, always handy to have. But he can only do it when he's protecting somebody. Hence the name Safe Space. So if he's just rolling up one-on-one with somebody, like the main person they're fighting, the man's SOL. He's going to take an ass whooping. But, you know, of course, they're going to be highly trained and yada yada. But then, of course, you know, Snowflake. Oh my god. She can create snowflakes and knit shurikens, ninja stars out of ice. Okay. Now that look like snowflakes. Which, I mean, ice manipulation, cool, but she's not Iceman, who Marvel also made gay at one point, and just a quick side note on that character, I remember reading another story where some situation where the world was about to end and be reset, or some kind of typical comic book cliche stuff, and Iceman. His biggest fear was going back in the closet, having to live that life again of not being out and being himself. Dude, nobody cares. All right? I live in West Virginia. Coronavirus champions 2020. Well, we were. But, yeah, I live in West Virginia. Backwoods crap. Nobody gives a shit if you're gay. Nobody. You gay? Cool. I mean, I've had workplaces where, you know, gay people work there, and they be talking about going on a date and stuff, and be like, man, that's cool. And ask how it'd go, you know, yada yada, you know, whatever. That's the problem with comics these days. And well, yeah, it's mostly comics. Movies are slowly getting there. I fear for the future of the MCU. It's going to be a disaster. It's done. The first 8 or 10 years were great because even going back just to 2008, you know, it was a different time period. And I know my hair is greasy and yada yada. We're on lockdown. I don't give a shit. But you know, it was a different time. You know, they focused on the stories. Sometimes a little bit too much on the world building, and it sacrificed some stories, but they were still good. You know, they was worried more about the characters being their characters, the comic book representations. But now they're hiring these freaking writers who don't know about comics. All they worried about is make sure that they're either female or some, you know, POC to give that representation. And, you know, feminism and yada, you know, it's going to ruin it all. And like I said, that the problem is, they're more worried. It's like that person, whether they be gay or they're black or lesbian or you know, whatever. They make it to where that is their single defining characteristic of that character. They can't just be black. They can't just be gay. It has to be some kind of struggle for this person. Every single time. I remember, like, there's in Batman. Oh God, I can't remember the name of the character, but he was basically kind of a super smart black version of Bruce Wayne. He wore a very high-tech bat suit. I can't remember his name. It's really bugging me. I don't know why. I just wanted to just... But, yeah, even though he was, very wealthy, successful, superhero, he had to come from an urban background and point out about how when he was younger, hearing gunshots two streets over and his friends getting killed. And, he couldn't just be black. He couldn't just be that character. It had to be about his race. It has to be about the sexuality, the gender, all that crap. Then they put it so, up in your face that, comic books and movies have always had these underlining messages. It's just part of a good story. It's what gets you invested, which makes you want to read it. But when it's just so in your face that they're beating you over the head with it, it's just like, man, I don't care. This isn't what people read comic books for. They want to see superheroes and escape reality. Especially in comic books. You got people with, superpowers, gods and aliens and monsters. The escape reality. I don't want to hear about Spider-Man there was one recent comic book with Spider-Man where him and Mary Jane was arguing about his web fluid because they was having a budget and he was spending too much on his web fluid and she was bitching at him the whole comic book. I don't want to read that. That's the part of being a superhero. Like on one of the latest episodes of Supernatural, where God took away Dean and Sam's luck. That's what they called it, but they were the main characters. So they didn't have to worry about all this trivial shit. It's always been a cornerstone of Pete's character that he struggles. It's what helps you identify with him as an everyday man, which is what, made him super popular. But stuff like that, no. Him paying his rent or, having money for a place to stay, that is what he struggles with. But him being Spider-Man and his web fluid, no. Get out of here. And plus, she called the honeymooners sexist or misogynistic in that comic book, even though it was the furthest thing from that. What was her name? Alice? And To the Moon? Yeah, To the Moon, Alice. She would talk pure shit to old dude. It was why it was so popular and funny, because it was just relatable. It wasn't so one-sided. And that's where everything's going now. That's why people hated Captain Marvel. That's why people hated Ghostbusters 2016. They could have been good movies. But it's like they went out of their way. I'm going on a fucking tangent over here. But it's like they've gone out of their way to make every male character either incompetent or they're the bad guy. Nick freaking Fury. It was like one of the most badass, capable characters in all of comic books was comic relief in Captain Marvel. He was inept and just couldn't do nothing. Lost his eye to a freaking cat. And I don't want to hear no crap about how it was an alien or whatever the heck it was actually called. It was a cat. Scratched his eye out. Get the frick out of here. Kind of ruined the whole part in, what was it, Age of Ultron? When he was like, I lost my one good eye. Was he Age of Ultron or Winter Soldier? Lost my one good eye. Someone I trusted. Yeah. Goose the cat. Okay. Thanks, Marvel, for just ruining that. But yeah, the same thing with Ghostbusters. Because like I said, other than it just being a horrible movie and not being funny, but you had the character, Chris Hemsworth character. Can't remember his name. But of course, he was supposed to be representation since it was sex swapped of Janine from the original movies. Janine was freaking awesome. She didn't take crap from nobody. She was quick-witted. She was awesome. I think his name was Kevin. I don't know. But he was an idiot. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth's funny and he's awesome. And it's always enjoyable to watch a stupid character like that. But it was just like, why'd they have to make him stupid? That's like I said, every male in that movie was either an asshole or just an idiot. Because you had Chris was stupid. You had the dean from the college was an asshole. The mayor was stupid. Of course, you had the main villain who was, not only just a freaking nerd loser who killed himself and somehow became a ghost god, could do anything he wanted. But of course, he was the bad guy, just a bad person. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a crazy world we live in. Just thinking back, just 10 years ago, how different stuff was. I don't know. But yeah, New Warriors. Okay.